Here we are. It's time for another episode. Let's do this thing. Wasn't I just on camera? Oh wait, I was. Wasn't that long ago? 10 hours? 9 to 6? 9 hours? 9 hours ago, I was on camera. 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Today is Wednesday, November 6th, 2019. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. Well, what do you know? Last night's episode of Martial Arts Radio went wonderfully. Went better than last month's. And for those of you that aren't aware of what I'm talking about, we've started Martial Arts Radio Live the first Tuesday of every month from 8 to 9 Eastern. Do an episode of Martial Arts Radio Live where I get to interact and talk, engage, comment, read people's comments on the air, etc. And it was a lot of fun. Had a good time. I'm gonna sneeze. I already passed. I guess I'm not gonna sneeze. Well, yeah, that was a good time. And if you missed it, the video will get uploaded to YouTube later today. But I don't know why I said but. That implied a second part of the sentence, and there was not one. Well, it's cold out. It's getting colder every day. We might have snow this week. Not looking forward to that. Not ready. Definitely not ready. But it's the funny thing about the weather. It doesn't matter if you're ready. It just happens. Like so much of life. What else happened yesterday? I did a bunch of work that I worked out. And I got a few messages, personal, professional. Things are shifting, which is good. I'm happy about that. Some things have been pretty low, and I think I'm out of the low point. I think things are headed back in the right direction. That's really exciting. What's going on today? Bunch of work. Lunch with a friend. Haven't seen in a while. And funny enough, as I'm wrapping up, as I'm packing everything up from the show last night, I got a text from this friend saying, hey, we still having... Actually, no. I just got a random text from him. And he says, I have your money. And I'm thinking... He doesn't owe me money. Does he? I started thinking back. And maybe he owes me money. But I didn't think so. If he did, it was from a while ago. So I just wrote back, huh? And he said, your money from Corey. And now I'm thinking, who's Corey? And why does Corey owe me money? So then he calls me and he says, sorry, wrong Jeremy. Are we having lunch tomorrow? We're still having lunch tomorrow. Which is today. Yay, pizza. So, I got some questions here. And I'm going to answer them. Because that's what we do on the show. And if you want to ask a question, drop it below. And I'll answer it tomorrow. Or then, if you ask more than one. Oh, I got comments I got to respond to in here. Look at that. What signs would your body show if you are pushing yourself too hard in class? So that would be overtraining. How do you know you're overtraining? And that applies to physical disciplines in general. The acute training too hard in one class is actually really, really hard to do. It is incredibly difficult to push yourself too hard in one class. You're going to be limited by what your body can do. It's just going to start to not work as well. If you think about sprinting, there comes a point where no matter how much you want, you cannot sprint any further. You have to slow down because your body just doesn't have it in it. But what if you just run? And you just run all the time at a moderate pace. Eventually, your body's going to say, wait a second, this is not good for me. I've hit my limit. Yes, that is a real thing. So how do you know you're overtraining in class? Bottom line, overtraining, and there are plenty of websites. There's a lot of information online. There are a number of symptoms, but some of them include you're not sleeping well. Your appetite is either really, really high and can't eat enough, or really, really low. Interestingly enough, you start noticing changes in things that happen in the bathroom. And I won't get any more descriptive than that. And you just never feel rested. You never feel good. When you go to class, you should feel good. You should feel like you've got this, like it's going to be a good day, good class. But if you feel just as crummy before, during, and after, physically, maybe you're training too much. And how often it requires to get there depends a lot on the type of classes. The way most martial arts classes are run, it's going to be really hard for people to overtrain. Most schools don't even offer enough classes for people to overtrain. But what about the other things you do in your life? What if, like me, you're doing, you're lifting weights, and CrossFit, and hiking, and. In that case, then it can be, I don't want to say easy, but certainly possible. So you just got to find balance. I think we all know what it feels like to feel good. And if you've gone more than, let's say, a week without physically feeling good, you're probably overtraining. And it's time to back off. You want to find that sweet spot. I know for me, doing more than 2 or 3 days of CrossFit in a week is too much. A lot of my friends are there 5-6 days a week. That's great. And that works for them. But I've got other things that I do that they don't do, and so it doesn't work for me as well. The same thing with lifting weights, usually twice a week. And that still leaves a couple days in there for other things, including martial arts. If you are overtraining, if you are feeling like you're going too hard, there's no magic formula to fixing it. You just slow down. You just do a little bit less. If you're really feeling terrible, go into recovery mode. What would you do to heal yourself, right? Good food, lots of sleep, lots of water, go for walks. The older I get, the more I believe in the medicinal value of walking. It's amazing how much just light movement impacts all the systems of the body. If you don't walk as part of your day-to-day life, try to. Whether that's, getting a band and making sure you get enough steps in, or just going for a walk after a meal. Really, really good stuff. Really helpful. What signs would show your body what signs would your body show? There we go, reading. What signs would your body show if you are taking it too easy in class? Well, I don't know that it would show any signs. But I think you would notice a lack of progress. When you look at the last 3 months or 6 months, say, I'm not getting better at anything. Remember, martial arts gives back exactly and only what you put in. So if you don't put anything in, you're not going to get anything back. But as with the first question, there's an upper limit. You can put in too much and not have anything to come back, or have less. Diminishing rate of return. And why is it that people don't put enough in? A few reasons. Maybe their heart's not really in it. Maybe they don't believe in themselves. Maybe they're a child and their parents are sticking them there for daycare. Or maybe they don't believe that they can or deserve to. I've seen all these. I've seen more. Maybe they're depressed. There are days I get to class and I had to force myself to go, and I just don't want to be there. I just don't want to be around people. See, that's one of the downsides to martial arts, is that classes, the places that we learn, require being around people. Sometimes you don't want to be around people. I don't think it's any secret that I'm a bit of a loner, a bit of an introvert. People don't believe me, but let's face the facts. I live alone in the woods. You know, I'm certainly not the Unabomber. There's no manifesto. But I appreciate my alone time. And when things aren't going great in my life, my instinct is to retract and to be by myself. And that doesn't jive well with going to martial arts classes. I think people know if they're not working hard. I think they'd be defensive about it if you ask them, or if you observed that with them. But I don't think people generally know that they're putting in too much. Through working with people, I find very rarely in martial arts is someone overtraining. In general fitness and weightlifting, yeah, I mean, there are people I see at the gym, at various gyms, every time I'm there. And I don't go on any consistent schedule, so that tells me that they're probably always there. And when your physical outlet is also your trying to combine the words mental and emotional, your mental or emotional outlets, that becomes challenging. It's important to have pursuits, hobbies in your life that are not physical. I say this as someone who does not. I struggle to do things that are not physical as part of my downtime. Friday opened up in a different... I thought I was going to be on the job site on Friday doing some construction, and just the way that's flowing, I was told that that's not going to happen. So now I've got this day I completely booked off. What do I do? Maybe I go for a hike. Well, there's more physical, right? Like that's instantly where my gut goes. So I get it. What else is going on today? Well, I think I'm going to watch V for Vendetta because I didn't watch it last night. I said I was going to watch some of it. I didn't. Because yesterday was the 5th of November. But I'll probably watch it tonight, at least part of it. It's a longer movie. Stacy is suggesting that I take up knitting socks, but that I can't buy socks from the sock sale. For those of you not from around here, if you go into pretty much any decent sporting goods store, you will see a brand of socks called Darn Tough. And they are from a factory in Northfield, Vermont, called Cabot Hosiery Mills. And every year, the 2 weekends before Thanksgiving, which means this is coming up, they hold a sale. And this sale has been going on so long and has become so prominent that people will line up for hours. It's like Black Friday. It's insane. People come from hours away to come buy socks. And if I knit my own socks, how can I have the fun of going to the sock sale? Hand knit socks are a luxury. They would be. That'd be a lot of time going into those socks. I used to, let's see, back when I was a kid, I learned how to crochet. I did not enjoy it. I thought about getting coloring books, the whole, adult coloring book thing. That doesn't excite me. This is where I usually buy Legos, because at least I have something I can look at it and say, I did that. One of the greatest moments of my life was realizing that I had the disposable income to buy Legos whenever I wanted, and no one could tell me no. Legos are great. All right. I feel like this is devolving. So I'm going to go. But first, a couple things. Remember, subscribe, turn on notifications. We do the show every weekday morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, here on YouTube. You can catch it in audio form later on in your podcast feed. Subscribe to Martial Arts Radio while you're in there, or you can find it online here. If you missed yesterday evening's broadcast of Martial Arts Radio Live, which was on Facebook, I will be uploading it to YouTube later today. Subscribe, turn on notifications. I think I said that. All right. Homework. I want you to take stock of your body. I want you to consider how you're using it. Maybe you want to make a list. I go to martial arts class 3 times a week for an hour each time. I walk a little. And I want you to grade yourself. How do you think you're treating your body? Are you treating it well? Are you treating it poorly? How could you do better? Be honest. Nobody else is going to see it. You've only got one body. The more you take care of it, the more enjoyable life will be, the longer you'll be here. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Take care.